Great to have with us at halftime Daniel Head, the athletic director at all of the Coastals, Coastal Alabama. Daniel Head, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Robert. How about you?
I am doing good as well. Thank you for being
Thanks
our
for having me
guest.
on.
I,
Yeah, thanks for having me on.
it's great to have you on. And as a matter of fact, we got you on in a little different setting. This is halftime of the D2 men's and women's basketball championships that are going on in Mobile. So we're going to talk Coastal Alabama, but talk basketball too in regards to the D2. This was an event that, though it's in Bishop State in Mobile, was originally going to be there in Bay Minette at Coastal Alabama.
Oh, no, no, no. This was originally going to be at Shelton State.
Ah, that's right. You're right.
Yeah. Yeah, this was originally going to be in Shelton State. And what happened is there were the GCAC NAIA tournament is being held at Stillman College this weekend, and Alabama softball has like a 6-team tournament in town. So the hotel access was very limited, and we didn't feel comfortable bringing in a lot of teams with limited resources of lodging for the teams to stay. So that's why it was actually moved to Bishop.
That's
Um,
right.
for
And I
that.
was thinking about the fact that you host next weekend for some reason
Correct.
had me on the wrong track. Um, how then did, and I know you're very much involved with this weekend there at
Yes.
Bishop State. So what brought on your involvement based on the fact that originally it was going to be at Shelton?
Well, I do have a role with the conference. I'm the assistant director assistant region director for men's sports. So, I'm involved in most of our conversations. Well, of all of our men's sports, and and have a role that helps Dean with tournaments and things like that. So once we realized that Shelton was going to be not be the best circumstance based on the hotel situation, we then had to look at alternatives. And so Dean and I and Ryan Spride, Michelle Ivy, we collaborated and just kind of talked through some things. And we looked at, where would we be able to find some hotels in bigger cities and things. So we looked, Mobile, Birmingham. We knew Huntsville was out. There wasn't any facilities available this weekend up there. So we did that, and through the process, we talked to Coach Eager, who is actually I used to work with, at Alabama Southern. He was our basketball coach there. He's now the AD and basketball coach at Bishop. So we have a great working relationship. We're close friends, personally, and so it's great when you have good people that you're colleagues with, that you can pick up the phone and talk through some things. And Bishop State's been great at they host the volleyball tournament, do a great job with that, and they're a growing institution, and their athletic department has just done nothing but get improved with Coach Eager there. So they always like to take on opportunities to showcase their college, and so this was an opportunity that they embraced. And so I just told him that, from a standpoint of, we have two basketball facilities that programs that we run in Coastal, and if he had needed any help with staffing and things like that, that I would have our people on hand to help that. So what we've done is kind of collaborate, and Bishop's handling most of it, but we're kind of working together to make sure that we're us being so close that everything's taken care of. So our teams and our conference and all those stakeholders involved that'll be available this weekend will have the best experience that they possibly can, and be a great opportunity for our conference to showcase our Division II basketball tournament.
By the way, I've had a conversation with Trent Eager, and he described you as his mentor.
Oh Lord, that's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's scary. But Trent is a very humble guy. Trent is a great basketball coach. They've got one of the best Alabama junior college basketball teams this year that I've seen in a long time. I've had some coaches say it may be one of the best that they've seen come through there in their tenure, and you would never know it. He's so humble, gracious, and he really looks out for his student athletes. And I'm glad that they're having for his they're having a success, and it doesn't surprise me with his leadership style. He's going to be successful, and he is a successful leader. What they've done with their athletic department, and what they've done with their basketball program. So for him to say that is very that's a very overwhelming thing to say, but he's done it himself. He's a great leader.
You mentioned the fact that there were several locations considered when Shelton State and Tuscaloosa was not available for D2. Why was Mobile the spot that eventually was settled upon?
It was basically that Bishop State embraced the hosting the tournament. Obviously, you can pick a city, but if you don't have a facility or people available to run a tournament, then that's not going to be successful. So the fact that Mobile was a great town for an event town, and they have plenty of infrastructure for hotels and restaurants and things for that. So when Trent and talked with his administration and they were able to support this, that's what kind of made us move that direction. And we were working with a real kind of quick timeline with this adjustment. So this couldn't have gone any better. It's going to be a great tournament. We're excited about it.
1 week from this weekend, a new arrangement with D2 in that you've got a district tournament that eventually decides, or not a tournament, actually, kind of a
Play
winner
in,
takes all
yeah, yeah,
to go on to the nationals. That is going to be played in Bay Minette, correct? And are
correct.
we certain? I know that over the course of this year, in getting the renovations done to the gymnasium, and obviously the last two games of the season for Coastal South were played at Bay Minette. So everything is definitely a go on the 9th of March in Bay Minette.
Yes, we're good to go for that on the March 9th. It'll be the district championship game between the winners of the state regional tournaments of Alabama and Florida at Division II. So it'll be a single game. The winner of that game gets an automatic bid to the national tournament. And that'll be a great opportunity for a team from Alabama to come out of there. Obviously, we're hoping that it's Coastal North, who are the women's conference regular season champions, and we're pulling hard for them to have an opportunity to run through that for, this Friday and Saturday, and then hopefully, maybe they have an opportunity to play. But whoever that team is, this will be a new opportunity for our conference to have a chance to go to two different national tournaments with Division I and Division II. So we're excited about that also.
Now, on the 9th, is it one men's game and one women's game?
Correct. Yes, the
Okay.
winner of and it's a men's game. I think this 1 o'clock. I think the games are 1 and 3, if I'm not mistaken, on that, or 1 and 3 or 2 and 4. I can't remember off the top of my head. We got a tournament this weekend. I've got those game times in my head and all that. So whatever those times are, I'm sure you can confirm that this weekend. But it'll be a women's game then a men's game there in Bay Minette. Just two games, and then the champions. I know the women's tournament is in Joplin, Missouri, and my mind's escaping me right now where the men's tournament is.
My mind has just escaped me, long ago, so I can't help you out
Yeah,
there. It's the
I'm
D2.
I'm I'm very well aware of that with working with you over the last few years.
All right, the new facility. Got to talk about the new place where the district championship is going to be played. Opened up against Coastal North on a Thursday night, I guess about a week or so back.
Yeah,
And then,
last
of course,
Thursday.
and had the Lawson State game there as well. Gorgeous facility, state of the art lighting, state of the art sound system. You've got to be very pleased. It kind of reminds me of the old story about Bear Bryant and a football team that was really delayed in getting out onto the field. I think maybe when he was in Texas or somewhere. But man, they were chomping at the bit. It's kind of been that way for you. You've been chomping at the bit to get in there. And man, what a show you had, at least on that night that I was there.
Yeah, it's been a crazy year with that. Hats off to our administration and our facility people to have really and even our coastal our police force and things like that. There's a lot of obstacles that we had to overcome over these last few weeks to try and have some games on campus. And we were committed to do that for the student athletes that these sophomores that have been here and heard about and wanted them to have an opportunity to play on the new court before they left. And that was we had all resources on hand on campus over the last few weeks to do that, and so we were able to pull that off, and we still have some things to do to be finally like fully involved in the facility and all the offices ready and locker rooms and things like that. But we are at a place that we can have basketball games and all that. So that's been a great opportunity, and the atmosphere was great both last Thursday and Saturday. Again, it's a beautiful facility, and it's going to look even better once we get everything, all the graphics up, and a lot of the the accessories and a lot of the fine details that we put on it. Once everything's finalized, we're excited to how that's gonna look over the long haul.
Final question: will the new facility be the home to some of these events, like the D2 men's and women's basketball? Because I know you're looking for a neutral floor. It's a D1 floor. So, do you anticipate it hosting some D2 events in the future?
I feel pretty confident that we will probably bid on these. We can't, obviously, any type of tournament is something that's bid upon, and the best bid wins the bid. So it is something that we'll probably bid on once we look at what our capabilities are for tournaments. I think we're looking at doing something like that, and maybe some high school tournaments and things like that too. We really want to showcase what we have once we get everything ready to go, and we want as many people on campus and to see our facilities, not just in Bay Minette, but in Bruton and Monroeville. Every time we have an opportunity to have people on campus, that's a win for us. So anything that brings people to Coastal Alabama, that we want to be a part of it, and we want to try to have an opportunity to make that happen.
Daniel Hand, AD at Coastal Alabama, thanks for being our guest here at halftime. It's airing during the tournament in Mobile, and I got a feeling we will see you there.
We will, and I appreciate everything you do, Robert, for the conference, for Coastal Alabama, and should be a great tournament this weekend. And we hope to see the Lady Yotes have a great weekend, and let's go out and play some ball this weekend and see what happens.
Thanks so much, Coach.
All right, go Yotes.